Kaka days ago, which happened in Shagamu in Ogun State. Unfortunate, very, very unfortunate incidents. There have been numerous reports as to what happened, how it happened. Whatever the case is, this young star is dead. And not just that, more people died while protesting the death of the football star. We're asking questions this morning. What really happened? We've had conversations from different sides of the table. The governor had a press conference where he insisted that they were on top of the situation. The police have also spoken on this. I saw a video where the father of the young man, Tiamiyu, popularly called Kaka, was a wreck, a practical wreck, pulling a police officer who is said to have led to the death of Kaka. This is a conversation for the next 1 hour. I am Wemimo Adewuni. We're live right now on Facebook and YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. You can head over there and join the conversation. We're also on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. To join on WhatsApp, the number is 08095975805, 08095975805. I see the WhatsApp message. I see many of you sending me personal messages about issues that you'd like to be addressed. But I'd like you to send those to me, preferably on social media, on my handles. I'm able to better read them there and see what we can do. I see all your comments. I have to acknowledge those. But head over to Facebook. That's Nigeria Info 99.3. You know how we do it on the Morning Crossfire. The show starts with you telling me what you've gathered about this story. Are you in Ogun State? Were you there during that protest? What have you gathered? Before we bring in our guest on the show, we'll be joined by the police PRO in Ogun State, Mr. Abimbola Oyeyemi, and also by Dimeji Oshode, who is a media officer for Remos Stars Football Club. They'll both be joining us on the show. But let me come to you first. Police brutality, SARS, killings of Nigerians by those who should protect them. What's the way forward?
Call us on 0127709993, 0127719993, 0127729993, and 0127739993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
This is the Morning Crossfire. I am Wemimo Adewuni. Tell me your name, where you're calling from, and let's get it started. Good morning.
Hello, Wemimo. Good morning.
Morning to you.
I'm happy I could make it today. Yesterday, I was just calling, but I couldn't.
I'm glad. And you're my first caller today.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I wasn't in Shagam, but I'd like to share an experience of this SARS guys. Okay, so the issue is that somewhere in Lekki, actually, my company did something for a client, interior fitting and all of that. So we went in there to take some photographs of what we've done, and the client was taking us back to Lekki itself. So this guy just came from nowhere, the SARS guys, stopped us on the road. And for me, the manner of approach was scary. Like, you just stopped me. Okay, so allow me to tell you who I am, answer your question in a peaceful manner, but the approach was really scary. I was terrified. I was like, what? You just asked me for my ID card, and I'm trying to reach for it, but you're shouting on top of the voice. I've not done anything. The client that they were after, they stopped. The guy, he owns a Mercedes. He works in Chevron. So I don't know. I guess they're after this guy is driving Mercedes-Benz or something. I really don't understand. So he showed them his credentials and everything before they could allow us leave. But the approach was really scary. I mean, their guns were cocked.
Wow.
They were jumping all over the place. For what?
When the police PRO joins us, I'll be asking him about this. The approach of the police in dealing with civilians. Daniel is in Apapa. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Wemimo.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I think our police needs retraining. I come from a police family. I have cousins and uncles who are police officers. But basically, that's not the issue. What I see is that the rank and file of Nigerian police is terrible in the way they approach people. I've had incidences where I noticed the way police accost people. If you are looking for, you are doing maybe random search, and your gun is cocked. Do you understand me? Your gun is cocked in an area where you have a lot of people passing, walking by. Just like your, I don't know whether it's your guest or somebody just recounted an experience.
The first caller.
Yeah, your first caller. Just recounted an experience of police approach. If you are stopping somebody, who gave police authority to be hitting people? While you are approaching, you are talking to somebody, the next thing you latch out. For God's sake, I mean, Nigeria. And let me tell you, one of the reasons why this thing continues is the fact that the police hierarchy, once somebody is shot, they give excuses for that criminal in police uniform. Instead of getting that person out, disciplining him immediately.
Right, thank you, Demil. We would address that on the show. Let's speak with Kenny, who's at VR. Kenny, good morning.
Good morning, Wemimo.
Good morning.
Good morning again. Police brutality. The first two callers have said, a very, very important point. I had a discussion with two policemen in October last year. We were actually in the same vehicle going for some assignments. So initially, I wasn't even interested in their discussion, but at some point when the driver raised the matter of, the way SARS will just arrest young men, and because you are carrying laptop, you are a suspect, they take you to their station, collect money and all that. These other policemen started defending them. That they said it's not possible that a policeman will just arrest you for nothing. That they must have had intelligence. That was where I got angry and I got involved in discussion. I was like, how would you just see someone on the street carrying laptop, and then the next thing is you have intelligence on that person? Where did you meet the person in the first place?
When did you gather the intelligence?
You understand? So eventually I tried to discuss with them, and I realized that even their mentality, the average policeman has a very wrong mentality about criminality. One of them told me point blank, he said, if he sees 50 young men in Nigeria today, that is going to assume that 45 of them are criminals.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, based on what? He said, because all of us in this country are criminals.
Wow.
Now, those are the people that are supposed to be protecting us. So many of them, their mentality first is that all of us are criminals. The guy even said, even including themselves, police.
He acknowledged that.
I'm telling you.
Thank you, Kenny. Let's speak with Peter, who's at Victoria Island also. Peter, good morning.
Good morning, Wemimo.
Good morning.
Yeah. This police brutality, the thing has gone out of hand. If I may bring out my opinion is that I think they should be disbanded. There are so many graduates that are looking for jobs. Because these people, they cannot change. They see themselves as so superior with their gun and their uniform. They can intimidate anybody.
But we do need policemen to provide protection, law and order.
Yeah, we need them. But are they actually doing that?
We also need an anti-robbery squad. That's what they actually have. Special anti-robbery squad. We do have true robbery incidences where we need the police to come in. So how do we find the balance now?
Wemimo, these people are not actually doing all these things. What the people they are always attack is innocent people. Are they? I mean, I'm about they are actually caught. They've not catch anybody. So that's my opinion.
Thank you, Peter. So how do we find a balance? That's what I'm asking you right now. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Wemimo.
Good morning.
This is Andy Okoro from Ilufe.
Good to have you here.
You asked a question, how do we... You know one thing, Wemimo, from all look of things, when you invite them in your station, hello?
I can hear you, Andy.
When you invite them in your station, they come there to tell us, or when they appear in television, they come there, this is their PRO, they come there to tell us what Nigerians want to hear. They don't want to tell you the reality on the ground. Every question you put up to them, they answer as if they are angels. But the reality on the ground is completely different from what their PRO will come there to tell you, even this morning that they are trying to reach them. They are not, the fact, you choose to know it here in Nigeria and they walk in the street, what the police are doing. Just last week, one picked my boy and they searched the boy. He said the boy has Igbo in his DIM in his pocket. They check his purse. He has 40,000 naira there in pocket. What they did was to pick him along the road. They collected 37,000 and left 3,000 naira for him. That was
wow.
But
did they really have Indian hemp in his pocket?
Yes, I think yes, it is true.
So they sat on the case right there by the road, judged him, and decided that his fine was 37,000 naira.
They collect 40,000 naira is in his purse. Then they gave him 3,000 naira for transport, gave him his purse back, and then I'll zoom off with it. And they are still
and gave him the Indian hemp back too. I assume.
Yes. Now they gave him every other thing back.
But as a citizen, would you have preferred if they had charged him to court? In reality,
charged to court.
Yes.
How much do one pay for Indian hemp? How much will court charge somebody for Indian hemp? Are they court? Have they helped him? So the way they are doing their police work in this area, in fact, let me be realistic with you. A policeman make me to understand that to be appointed even a CP, that they will pay millions. To be appointed area commander, you pay millions.
Pay to who?
To their superior now. To be appointed DPO, you pay millions. Then when the DPO comes, the DPO give those, they will have this their small boss going up and down. On the policemen will be on the other day I was discussing the station there, the police should put on their uniform. It was announced here some time ago. You should see their name, you should see their number. That is not true again. Now they will wear just their t-shirt, that polo, they will write anti-robbery. They will carry gun. Nobody can mention their name. Some of them and their vehicle they are carrying do not have number.
Right, thank you, Andy Okoro. Now, let me remind you of what happened, this recent incidents. Let's just remind you for those who didn't catch up on it. Now, there have been outrage, continuous outrage, and public cry for police reform. On the Morning Crossfire, we've had, oh my goodness, quite a number of conversations throughout 2019 on police brutality and the need to reform the police. There have been cries on social media, many saying scrap, disband SARS entirely. There's been a bit of reform over time, but we're asking if this is enough. Well, let me also tell you that the governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, promised to look at the incidents of Tiamiyu Kazim, who died. Now, over the past weekend, some officials of SARS in Shagamu reportedly shot a Remos Stars Football Club player, Tiamiyu Kazim, popularly called Kaka. He was the assistant captain of the club. There are different reports as to what really happened, but it appears that despite the police reform bill 2019, which was passed by the Senate for presidential assent, nothing has really changed. I mean, I don't know, but if you've seen any changes, maybe you can point them out. But look at this local soccer player who was the assistant captain of his club. A great potential for the football world in Nigeria. Someone so popular that people turned out on the street in massive protest. He was a footballer. He was a soccer fan. Remember also that we had an issue of Kolade Johnson last year, March. Remember? Kolade Johnson was also a football lover who had gone to a soccer viewing center to watch a match. He was killed then by a stray bullet of the Nigeria Anti-Cultism Police Unit during a raid before he died in hospital while waiting for treatment. Well, on Kolade's incident, according to the statement by the police force, members of the Anti-Cultism Unit were searching for a suspect and at one point fired into the air, and that bullet killed Kolade. In the case of Kazim Tiamiyu, there have been different, we've heard so many things, that he was pushed out of a moving vehicle by the SARS officer, that he jumped down of the car by himself and was crushed by a hit-and-run driver on the Shagamu-Abeokuta Expressway. But the family insists. Representatives of the family, of the Tiamiyu family, Adegbeso Ademola and Ogusami Bisoye, in a press statement, accused the police of covering up facts when it was clear that a crime had been committed and there was need for justice. The Association of Nigeria National League, in a statement signed by the president, Malam Abdul Sule, also described Tiamiyu's death as, I quote, a painful loss to the football community in Nigeria. The NNL demanded a lasting solution to the killing of their prized assets. Again, we're coming back to the phones. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. WhatsApp number is 08095975805, 08095975805. You can join the conversation right now. Let me see and get to Facebook, rather WhatsApp, and take some of your comments on this conversation. What is the lasting solution to police brutality in Nigeria? Like I said, we do need the police to ensure security, to ensure law and order. We do need the police because we do have criminal elements in the society. However, we need the police to do their work the way they should. We need them to stay with what their work is, look for criminals, and not hunt down citizens, innocent citizens. All right, Nigeria. Let's get to Facebook. Give me a minute to put that together. Facebook, I'll be reading your comments right now in the moment. Remember, you can also go onto Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. YouTube is also up for you. It's also Nigeria Info 99.3. We'll be speaking shortly with the PRO of the police in Ogun State and also the media officer for Remos Stars. Let me come and take some of your comments on Facebook. Breezy Brain on Facebook says, Wemimo, good morning. I think our police need training because they lack professionalism and intelligence gathering. The only solution is that the entire SARS should be scrapped, unless the entire SARS system could go through reforms, because the people that should be protecting us are the ones killing us. Another comment in here from Machiavelli Fedibo says, last year, during the last midterm break, I was taking my kids out, and shortly after driving out of my state, SARS operatives stopped me. And the first thing he said was, he's letting me go because of the kids. I threw the matter to the wind. I blocked the road with my car and caused a scene. They begged for me to let them go after agreeing not to return to that street as illegal checkpoint. Fasasi Akim, thank you very much. I see you. Omowali, what's his name now? Says only the Nigerians only love to talk. Okay. MEMR says the guest you're expecting is going to tell us only lies. Okay. I'm here to ask all the questions and as much as possible push them to give you the right answers. And I've asked them to stay with us enough time for you to also engage with them. Okay, so let's see. I don't know why the phone line is the way it is, but let's see who's here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Is that Nigerian Info?
This is Nigeria Info, yes.
Good morning. Well done for your show.
Thank you.
I have a contribution. I don't want to act on a prejudice. Average Nigerian police, they are confrontational. And then I don't think they are so much into education in enforcing. The 21st century policing is not being practiced in this country. I will not talk, but I will give a suggestion, like a recommendation. I think there should be a way whereby any officers that misbehave and foul one thing, the top leadership in that ranking should probably go on suspension or lose his job. For example, you can't be a police that walk on the street without anything like an equipment, CCTV coverage to support them. If they commit any crime, there's no evidence against them.
CCTV coverage. Do we have that kind of facility in Nigeria? I mean, we remember one of the reasons for the restriction, the U.S. visa ban or restriction, is because of this. We don't know who is who. We don't have identification. We can't even find anybody. We don't have CCTV cameras.
Yes. Now, if we don't have all these things, when you look at all the people that are running and ruling us, they have all the degree, like 10 degrees together. What are they using all this degree for? How did they come about that job? Why would they say they are running a world-class architecture or world-class professional? It's not done. For example, I will cite one example, which I don't like comparing Nigeria with the UK. But in this instance, I have to say it. One of the things, I used to work as a parking attendant before. And I was walking on the street. I found a guy that, that is almost passing out. Then I call emergency number. They traced me and they asked me some question. Why they were doing that, they are actually tracking these cameras around that place to actually know whether my call is genuine and to corroborate on what I said. They came down there 6 months after. They must have taken this guy to hospital and he died. They tracked my number again and called me to find out that, you are the one that caused this. So we just want to let you know that this person has died. There is no starting point or ending point of anything in this country. I think the whole police unit should be reformed. And then all their leadership should be asked to pay for any inadequacy that is committed by the junior officer. By this doing, maybe they will sit up.
Thank you very much. Let me speak quickly with Oladimeji, who's on the line. Oladimeji, okay. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, our guest is on the line. This is Oladimeji Oshode, the media officer for Remos Stars Football Club, joining us from Ogun State, and he'll be telling us about what the football club has gathered in regards to the unfortunate death of Kazim Tiamiyu, popularly called Kaka. But I need to go on a break now. Mr. Dimeji, I'd ask you to please hold the line for 2 minutes. I'll be back with you in a moment. Just stay on the line. Nigeria, this is the Morning Crossfire. I've heard you. And you were live on the Morning Crossfire. That means I'll be taking more of your comments after the break. Also, the PRO of the police command in Ogun State will be joining us on the show. And then we can have a true Morning Crossfire just after the break. Don't go away.
From your number one talk news and sports station, this is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff. your number one talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.
Welcome back, 99.3 Nigeria Info, and we're looking at the unfortunate incidents of the death of Kazim Tiamiyu, a football star with Remos Stars Football Club, who unfortunately died due to police assault. Joining me right now on the show this morning, we have Mr. Dimeji Oshode, who's a media officer for Remos Stars Football Club. Thank you for joining the show again.
Yeah, good morning, Wemimo. Thanks for having me on the show.
Let me ask you, who was Kazim Tiamiyu to Remos Stars?
Kazim Tiamiyu, he was a defender for Remos Stars and very diligent and hardworking footballer. He joined Remos Stars late last year, and because of his hard work, his humility, his courage, his confidence, we had no choice than to make him the assistant captain of the club. And ever since then, he's been a regular for the club. He's played almost all matches we've played in the Nigeria National League. He's played all our friendly games with him scoring goals for us. And I think he's an integral part of the team, and which is why Remos Stars is really bereft that a player such as Tiamiyu Kazim is no more.
What a sad incident. What did you gather about what really happened that led to his death?
Yeah, it was on Saturday, that fateful Saturday afternoon. I received the call that our assistant captain, Tiamiyu Kazim, who is popularly known as Kaka, is no more. And immediately I started making inquiries, making researches to get the actual incident that happened. And fortunately, as God will have it, one of his teammates, and a player of Remos Stars Football Club, a person of Sanu Abubakar, was with him, and he narrated the whole thing that happened to me, and that was what guided me. That was what guided me to issue out a press release as regards what happened on that fateful day.
So we heard different reports. Oh, he was returning from training. He was picked up because he loved wearing military camouflage, and he was arrested because of this. He was pushed off the car, or he jumped down the car. Have you been able to ascertain which of these versions of the story is true?
Yeah, like I said earlier, his teammate was with him, and to us, he's an eyewitness, and he has downloaded everything that happened to us. The information in which it was shared, majority of those informations were false. One, Tiamiyu Kazim had never worn a camouflage clothes before. He had never worn a military cap ever since I have known him. And as regards that, on that Saturday, he wasn't coming from training. We had rigorous training sessions in the course of that week, and then also we played a whole lot of friendly matches, which he was also part of the players that partook in those games. And then on Friday, the coach assembled all the players together after a friendly match. He assembled them together and felt they should go on break for the weekend because they had to refresh themselves and prepare for the following week training section, since we don't know when the Nigerian National League will be resuming. And on Saturday, he went to his parents' house, and on Friday, went to his parents' house alongside that his teammate. He went to his parents' house, but that night, he told his parents he won't be sleeping at home, that he needed to speak and to sleep in the house of his manager, because presently they are having I think they are having a transfer might be coming to his way as at that time, because we got information that club outside the country we are beginning to look for him, and a club from Sweden, yes, had already written that they would want him to be part of them in Sweden.
A club
those
from
are the
Sweden
processes.
had written to Remo football stars.
No, has written to their manager, to his manager, because both late Tiami Kazim and Sonny Abubakar have the same manager.
Okay.
So he has written to
Sorry.
as well. He has written to the manager that that the club from Sweden had written to them as regards him coming over to play for a club in Sweden, and that was part of the process. He went to see his manager for that night. His manager came to Shagam that Friday night, so they went to his place to sleep. So on Saturday morning, when they woke up, according to what Sonny told us, because he was within all through the incident, before his death and after his death, he said that Saturday morning they left the house of their manager, and on their way they noticed that the vehicle which he was driving needed a power steering oil. So they parked at a junction, that roundabout, very close to Agarigo's house, Agarigo's palace, at a Tauba, to get the engine oil. So he dropped from the vehicle to get the engine oil, but his friend, Sani Abubakar, was still inside that car, only for him to notice that a SAS official had entered Tiami's car and is seated at the driver's seat. So immediately he requested for their phones, Sani Abubakar's phone and then also late Tiami's phone, which Tiami didn't get down with his own phone. He left the phone inside the car since he wanted to just get the oil and then
continue
go and fill. Yes. So immediately he noticed that a SAS official was in his car. He came around and then they tried discussing, and immediately both of them showed him their ID cards. But he declined. He didn't even look through the ID card. He decided not to even attend to the ID card.
So what exactly was he charging them for? What was he harassing them about?
Yes, he claimed that Tiami Kazim is a Yahoo boy, or was a Yahoo boy.
Was this SAS operative on a solo mission, or did he have others with him?
As at that particular time, they only noticed that SAS officer. And he claimed that the deceased was a Yahoo boy, and he told him he's a footballer. He told him he was a footballer alongside Sani Abubakar, but he declined and told them to be going to the nearest police station.
Okay.
And immediately, Tiami was dragged into it. That was when they noticed. At that time, that was when they noticed a Sienna car had parked in front of them. Are you getting me?
Right. I'm following you.
That was the time they noticed the Sienna car had been parked in front of them. So they pushed Tiami into.
Please call again later. Thank you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Hello.
We seem to have an issue there for a moment with the lines. Please bear with us. I'm sorry about that. We'll get him back on the line. That account, I had to allow him recant what they've gathered as regarding the death of Tiami Kazim. It's a very, very sad story, and it reflects the death of many other young Nigerians, many whose names would never make the headlines like Tiami Kazim, unfortunately. But every Nigerian life matters. This young man right now is no more, unfortunately, and that's the media officer of Remos Stars Football Club joining me on the show and telling us who Tiami Kazim was. Okay, we will get him back on the line. We're also trying to reach the PRO. His number seemed to be engaged, but I see your comments. Some of you are trying to be witty and saying hope the PR would also not bail out like our scheduled guest yesterday, Adamu Garba, did. I hope not. I sincerely hope not. We would need the police to answer a lot of questions for us on the show this morning. A comment here on WhatsApp. Most of SARS policemen travel in hired commercial buses. Please find out who and how these buses are paid for at the end of the raid. Are policemen meant to hire commercial buses for raids? Good question there. Uche Rado says, good morning, Wemimo. To get the best from the police and SARS officers, any commandant or area commander that sends out his boys should also be suspended if the guys commit any crime outside. Good morning, Wemimo. The police should undergo a series of trainings. My father is a police officer and all promotion given to him is through the courses he attended. Detective course, forgery, forensic, anti-robbery. All these cops need comprehensive training. Without that, we're back to square one. Also here, how do we find balance on police brutality? There is no better Nigeria and bad policemen. Just as there are no bad Nigerians and good policemen. That's to say police and the society belong to have things in common as they go out on their daily duties. If Nigerians don't like them, let the government send them on total suspension all over the federation, and then you would know how important they are. Almost all your callers, I don't expect them to say any good thing about the Nigerian police. They don't like the police, but they still need them. True. It's all about who are, what we want, and how we go about it. James from Agege. Good morning. Says, before I was stopped last 2 weeks by SARS operatives before Old Benin toll gate while I was traveling for colleagues' burial. With colleagues for a burial, they searched one of my colleagues' phones and saw a transfer that he did for a client, and SARS concluded he was a Yahoo guy. It took my intervention to narrate what we do in our office. We have the BDC license that enables us to buy dollars from CBN and sell to travelers, but they still didn't believe me. We ended up buying our time for 30,000 naira from negotiating 200,000 naira, which they asked for. Ngaike Okafa, Lagos. Thank you for sending that in. Let me take some calls right here while we try to get our guest back on the line. Good morning. Hello. I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
From Surulere.
Welcome to the show.
The reason why the police commit crime and with impunity is because there is no other force or any other agency of government that keeps an eye on what they do. My own take is that the police should be well trained, should be well treated, well equipped. They don't need to carry guns all over the place. They need communications equipment. We've been to other countries. They can't be carrying live ammunition that be killing people. They don't. The consequence is that when the people in the various communities who have conceived dislike or hatred for the Nigerian police see them anywhere, they too are not safe. When they go to hospitals, they can't find people on time. Once you are a policeman, there was a crisis somewhere where police were attacked. Some people had to remove their uniforms so as not to identify policemen. They too are not safe in the society. So they should be trained on how to be civil and not to treat people, to respect human life. They can't be killing people. They too can be killed.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for calling. I tell you, this conversation this morning gets me a bit worried and worked up. But, I mean, it needs to be had. It's a conversation we've had over and over again. But here comes our conversation all over again. And we need to ask ourselves questions. What do we really need to do about the police and relations with civilians? We need the police. We need them. But we also need them to be civil about their work. We need them to do what they are told to do, what they're expected to do, and stick with it. We need them to protect Nigerians and not hunt down Nigerians while supporting criminals. We need policemen to not be the criminals, because if we have criminals in the police system, then we need the police system to be able to weed out these people who are giving the police a bad name. I assure you, I know for a fact that not every policeman is a criminal. Not every one of them misbehaves. But for those who misbehave, how do we get them out so that we can focus on the real work that needs to be done? Oladimeji Oshode is back with me online right now. We're able to get him. We're still trying to reach out to the PRO. Welcome back, Oladimeji. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, let's move this up. After the unfortunate incident with Tiamiyu Kazim, there was a massive protest in Shagamu by residents of Ogun State calling for the disbandment of SARS in that state. That also led to more death. At that juncture, everything seemed messed up because we began to hear different accounts of what really happened. Some insist that the police did not kill any of the protesters, that touts took over and shot these people. We've heard reports that the protesters pulled down the gate of a local government. We've heard the governor also speak and say investigations are ongoing. You live in Ogun State. Tell us about this protest that happened afterward. If you follow that protest, what exactly happened there? Can we just understand?
Yeah, I and the Remos Stars Football Club as a whole was not part of that protest because on that fateful morning also, which happens to be on a Monday morning, the management, the players, and the officials of the club decided to pay a condolence visit to the home of the deceased. And on our way, because there's no how we go to the house of the deceased without going through the Shagam road. So on our way, we saw the protesters. They tried telling us to stop and then join them in the protest. But we insisted as a club that we won't be joining them in that protest because we know that if eventually we join in that protest, it might lead to something else. And we have already had the death of our player, and we don't want something more of that to happen to any player.
So you didn't join that protest?
We didn't join the protest. So instead of joining the protest, we went straight to the home of the parents of the deceased. And then on getting there, we spoke with them, and then they felt sorry for them, and we also prayed for them. And meanwhile, the management of the club spoke with the parents of the deceased, which I wouldn't like to disclose what the discussion they had as regards the death of the deceased.
Well, I'd like to pry into that information. So, Remos Stars did not join in the protest. It was, other people, other civilians who joined, who led and took part in that protest. So, what exactly is the plan for the football club? Are you suing the police, or are you planning any form of support for the family? What exactly is the plan now?
Yeah, for now, I think I can't give an accurate information to that. So,
is there a reason for that?
No, there's no reason, because I can't give out what I don't know.
You are the media officer of Remos Stars.
I am the media officer of the club.
Mm-hmm.
But once an information has not gotten to an actual stage, I don't think I can give any information as regards that. But definitely, the club wants justice. The club wants justice. The parents of the deceased want justice, and then those are the things I think as at now the club and the parents of the deceased are working on.
Do we expect a lawsuit from the club?
I can't give an accurate information as regards that, but the only thing I know as at now is what I have told you. But if I have a subsequent or additional information, I would speak with you after all.
All right. Before I let you go, what is the state of mind of his colleagues, other players with Remos Stars right now?
Yeah, the players, as I speak with you, are down, and they're not really happy at what really happened, the situation of what happened, and I think we are trying to encourage the players, because as of yesterday, the president of the club in person of Honorable Kule Shiname was available at the club yesterday, and he discussed with these players. Also, the coach of the team in person of Daniel Ogun also spoke with the players and made them and assured them that that shouldn't drop their strength, and also it shouldn't affect their games, because it has happened, which anybody is not really happy at what has happened. So such is life. We have to move on. But as of now, the players can't even go out on their usual training sections. And as I speak with you, I don't know when the players will return to start training, because this guy he was an integral part of the team. No doubt, everybody, even the under 17 players with us, and even the under 13 and under 15 players would have a whole lot of things to say about him. And I think even as of yesterday night, we still had the majority of these players weeping. And I think these are just the things that has affected the players. They can't even confidently look at his pictures any longer. And everybody is really in a sad mood. Everybody is sad. We are unhappy. As of yesterday, while the chairman was still addressing the players, he was weeping. The coach also the same thing. The captain of the team and almost all the players as a whole wept yesterday. And as of this morning, as I speak with you, they are still gathered together, still discussing about the good times they've had together with Tiamiyu Kazim. I
again sympathize with you and with the family of Tiamiyu Kazim. Do you have information about burial plans for him?
For now, none.
Oladimeji Oshode is a media officer for Remos Stars Football Club. Thank you very much for joining the Morning Crossfire this morning.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you for your concern.
Thank you. Guys, that was an emotional one for me. I'm just trying to put myself together here. Sincerely, we're still trying to reach the PRO. Somehow, I don't know what's going on with the number, but he was scheduled to come on the show for 8:30. So we keep trying. Of course, we keep trying. We'll see if we can get him on the line. Let me take some comments from Facebook before I get back to the phone lines. Aki Ogushuji says, these guns are used to intimidate and harass innocent citizens who are not armed. Why do our police why do they not go through psychological evaluation and alcohol and drug tests in case of abuse? Onosonya Oluwashe Fozo says, the problem is that only the apprehended culprit get punishment. His accomplices wouldn't be free of charges and they'll continue their corrupt practices. Judge Chukwemeka says, why do we still allow these people to operate in the country? Questions. Simi Siji Oyelaya says, life of the police, especially the innocent ones, can be in danger soon. True. If the government does not put them in order, I heard that police officers will be identified with their uniform, and one day civilians will catch up with them and deal with them. If that's what the government wants, it will happen. It says he's lost his loved one as a result of police officers' anomalies, and they go scot-free because there is no security infrastructure on our streets like CCTV or a reliable agency's number to call and report their action. There are numbers to call. Okay, I'm finally being joined by the Ogun State PRO on the line, Mr. Abimbola Oyeyemi. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining the conversation. We've had almost 1 hour of this show, and I have just spoken with the media officer of Remos Stars Football Club, who told us how the club is faring these hard times. I'd like you to tell us, sir, with the investigation carried out so far, what precisely, we've heard different versions, what precisely happened in the case of the death of Tiamiyu Kazim?
Well, thank you very much. The incident is a very unfortunate one that is very, very sympathetic because the young man's life was cut down at his prime, and nobody is happy about that. And that is why the officers concerned is being seriously investigated. And like you've all heard, he has been recommended for dismissal and is going to be charged to court. But our headquarters in Abuja, the Inspector General of Police have directed that the Force Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department should take over the investigation. And they will be in Abeokuta any moment from now to come and pick the suspect and take him to Abuja for further investigation. On Saturday, when this incident happened, we started hearing a series of stories the first thing we had was that the guy was shot by men of a Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. And later we heard that the guy while being pursued, they shot at his vehicle, and the vehicle somersaulted about 3 times before the man died. Later, we had another version of the story that he was pushed out of the vehicle. So that prompted me to go to the scene to investigate and find out what actually happened. And what I was able to gather and what the exact thing that happened was that this policeman came to Shagamu with one other person who is a civilian and who he said is happened to be his informant, who gave him information about the man that he came to arrest. And they are there with about 2 other ladies. So they arrested this guy, put him inside a Sienna bus. The other guy who is informant was the one driving that Sienna bus with 2 other ladies inside, and they are going in front while the policeman and one other person was inside the vehicle of the deceased. They are driving the vehicle, they are following the Sienna bus. So on getting to a point at Wemimo, there is a minor mechanical fault on the vehicle of the deceased that is being driven follow the Sienna bus. So they have to stop, and while they stop, they call the person driving the Sienna that they should stop. They want to rectify a minor fault of this vehicle. So while the vehicle stopped, these Sienna buses, they always have 2 side doors. Mm-hmm. So the deceased opened the door of the other side, which is very close to the road. So he came down. I think he wanted to, because he didn't see any reason why he should be taken to Abeokuta from Shagamu. So that is why he came down, for him to escape from them. And an oncoming vehicle knocked him down. So that is what exactly happened at that spot.
Okay, if I could back up a little. So the SARS official said he had some information for which he needed to arrest Yamiu. Do you know, with interrogating this SARS official, and if you can give us his name, maybe, but do you know what exactly was the information he had about Yamiu?
Well, first and foremost, the man is not from SARS. He's from Zonal Intervention Squad. The Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, they has nothing to do with the case at all. It has nothing to do with SARS. The problem is that people don't differentiate between some outfits of the Nigerian police force. So everybody they see, especially when you are putting on a black uniform or you're putting on
a T-shirt,
a jacket, they believe that they are SARS.
So he is from the Zonal Intervention Squad?
Yes, he's from Zonal Intervention Squad. And the information he said the person gave to him was that the deceased always put on military apparel. And when you put it on, you used to harass some people with it. That was the information he said the guy gave to him. And even if somebody is putting on a military wear, it's a very simple offense that even the station at Shagamu can easily handle. It's not something that you would now travel all the way from Abeokuta to come to Shagamu to effect an arrest.
So for those who are listening, is putting on a camouflage an offense in Nigeria?
Yes. If you are not a member of any military organization, you cannot just put on the uniform of a security organization if you are not a member. It's an offense.
Let me hold you for a minute, Mr. Oyeyemi. I wanted to have you before now, but let me hold you. I need to take a very short break. Nigerians are itching to get on this conversation. If you kindly hold the line for a minute, we'll be back with more questions on what the police is doing so that Nigerians can be reassured if investigation is ongoing. Nigeria, we're back just in a moment after this. This is the Morning Crossfire. Joining me now is the police PRO in Ogun State, Mr. Abimbola Oyeyemi, on the show, and we're having more conversations after the break and the news coming up right now. I'm Wemimo Adewuni. Don't go away.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Your number one talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.
Welcome back. It's 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is the Morning Crossfire, and we're looking at the case of police harassment, brutality, and the unfortunate death of Remos Stars football player Tiamiyu Kazeem. Joining me right now is the PRO of the police in Ogun State, Mr. Abimbola Oyeyemi. Thank you for holding the line, sir.
Thank you.
After the death of Tiamiyu, you've told us what happened. There was a protest in Shagamu. It was really heated online with hashtags Shagamu on fire trending for about 2 days. These protesters, we learned that the police also shot live ammunition at these protesters, and 2 or 3 people were killed.
Well, I don't think there's anything like that.
Like protests happening or people being killed during the protest?
There is protest because on that day you are talking about, the management team of Ogun State Police Command they went to Shagamu to commiserate with the family of the deceased, and they even went to the palace of Akaribu to equally commiserate with him. So, and even the youth of the town, they met with all of them, and they talked together. They told them that there is going to be justice for the deceased. But some people just gathered together, and they were advancing towards the police station in Shagamu that with the aim of burning down the station. And the police was able to disperse them with the use of tear gas. So the issue of some people were shot dead by the police does not arise.
Did people die during that protest, Mr. Oyemi?
Well, I'm not aware of that.
As the PRO of the police in Lagos, in Ogun State?
I'm not aware of that. If somebody died, we need to see the corpse of the person that died before you believe that somebody died.
You're saying there's a possibility. You believe that nobody died during that protest?
I believe that nobody died because I didn't see any calls and nobody reported any case of death to us.
All right, let me play to you what the Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, said after that protest.
A while after the peace meeting, some youth defied the calls for restraint and decided to take advantage of the situation by embarking on activities that further aggravated the already tense situation. They attempted to attack Divisional Police Station in Shagamu. They attempted to burn the police armor personnel carrier and even to loot the banks and the local government headquarters. Regrettably and unfortunately, we understand that there were some fatalities. In the meantime, I had issued a public statement condemning the incident and calling on the youth to be calm and not take laws into their own hands.
The governor publicly accepted and said that there were fatalities. And Mr. Oyemi, as a PR of the police in Ogun State, you say you did not know if some protesters died during that protest?
Actually, I'm not aware. If they didn't report any death to us in any of our do you think I would not be going from one street to the other to find out whether somebody died or not? Even if somebody died on his own or somebody died as a result of fracas between rival parties, does that mean that the police must be aware?
Even when the head of security in Ogun State, the governor, said, I just played you a clip, that people died.
Listen to me. Nobody reports any death in any of our stations.
Did any police officer...
Anything that is not reported to us, we don't know.
Did any police officer die during that protest, Mr. Oyemi?
No police officer died in Ogun State.
Okay, let me read to you some comments online.
If you know that any police officer died, let us know the name of the police officer that died.
Awesome. Let me read some comments online. Adedayo Fajimi says, good morning, Wemimo. Well done for the good work, but I think you should... Okay. He's talking about the Remos star. He did tell us what the eyewitness said. Rafael Adegoke said, how can he deny that nobody died? Something that was all over reputable news stations. Well, he insists that nobody died. Let me open the phone lines. The phone lines are buzzing. Everyone wants to jump on this. I hope I can get that done. But here are the numbers.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
This is Nigeria Info. We are listening. Let me play to you again what the governor said about the protest that happened after the death of Tiamiyu Kazim.
A while after the peace meeting, some youth defied the calls for restraint and decided to take advantage of the situation by embarking on activities that further aggravated the already tense situation. They attempted to attack Divisional Police Station in Shagamu. They attempted to burn the police armor personnel carrier and even to loot the banks and the local government headquarters. Regrettably and unfortunately, we understand that there were some fatalities. In the meantime, I had issued a public statement condemning the incident and calling on the youth to be calm and not take laws into their own hands.
The governor said there were fatalities. The Ogun State PRO says he's not aware of any such. Let me see what you make of this conversation. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Fred here.
Oh, Oh, I am sorry about that. Please try again if you can. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Henrietta calling from Ikorodu.
Welcome.
Please don't be angry in what I'm going to say. There was a man that told you, sir, stop the child that had possession of Indian hair. And eventually they took his money and left 3,000 for him. I was surprised the way you answered. He said, would it be better if they will charge the boy, which means you are supporting what they are doing. Another thing I want to talk, look at the policeman you're talking about, the one that is talking right now. Look at his tone.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I lost that call again. How do we make this happen? I think I have an issue putting you on the air with the PRO at the same time, but let me try again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Jadin.
Jadin, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder when this PRO police, they speaks in the public, and is telling the public that nobody report the case of death. And they are the one who carried the operation. Do they expect a person to come to the station and say, your people shot somebody? You know what they will do? They will take that person as a suspect. And the governor, as chief security officer.
Hello? I'm sorry, that line dropped again. I'm not sure if you heard the callers, Mr. Ayemi, but many of them are saying, if the governor of the state insists there were fatalities, let me just put this as a question. Is the police in Ogun State investigating what the governor had said, that there were fatalities during the protest? Is there any investigation going on as to if protesters died? Can you hear me, sir? Oh my goodness. No way. I just lost that call with him, but we would get him back on. Let me speak with you. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Tochiko, calling from Lagos.
Welcome, Tochiko.
Okay, and I wanted to ask the police officer right there with you. So does it mean that if there's a report that someone died, they must wait for the family of that person of the deceased to come and make a report to them before they can investigate? Is that how the police works? A governor, the number one citizen of a state, has said something. Won't the police investigate? Won't they ask him where he got the information from and try to find out if it's true? It's embarrassing for the kind of that police officer to be on air and be sounding the way he's sounding. I'm really embarrassed at what he's doing, really. Then going to the issue of wearing of camouflage. Is he really sure that people cannot wear camouflage? The Nigerian Army, if you wear the camouflage, is indicated on it that this is for Nigerian Army, Navy, Air Force, whatever it is. Other countries, people wear camouflage. That's why a soldier should have the indication that it's Nigerian Army, coat of arm and everything, and the nameplate on it. If someone is just wearing a trouser that is sewn in a different way, like the camouflage, does it become a crime?
It is actually a crime in our law. Let me read to you what part. Just do a quick search. That's what I've done for you right now. It is a crime. Section 110(1) of the Criminal Code makes it unlawful for any person who is not serving in any of the armed forces to wear uniform of the armed forces or any part of the uniform of such forces or any dress having the appearance or bearing any of the regimental or other distinctive marks of such uniforms. Camouflage is part of the military uniform, and so it falls under this law. There are two exceptions. Number one, if it is worn with the permission and consent of the president or the governor of a state. So if your governor gives you permission, maybe you can wear it. Second thing is that it is not applicable if it is worn in the course of a stage play or in a bona fide public entertainment. Okay, so the penalty for doing this is 1 month imprisonment or a fine of, guess how much? 10 naira. This is a very old law. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That man, PRO, right?
Mm-hmm.
That man is too arrogant. I don't like the way he talks about himself. don't like it at all. It's great. And number 2.
Okay, I can't hear you anymore. Good morning. Hello. Is something up with your line also? I can't hear you either. Okay, let me go to Facebook quickly where the comments are pouring in. I've read to you sections of section 110(1) of the Constitution, of the Criminal Code especially, that talks about wearing camouflage and the penalty for wearing it, unless it's for a stage play or unless you have the permission and consent of the president of the governor of your state, is 1 month imprisonment or a fine of 10 naira. The section 251 of the Criminal Code says that any person not being who is not serving in the armed forces or police in Nigeria who wears a uniform of any of these police or any dress having the appearance or bearing the regimental blah blah blah, it goes, or employs any other person so to wear such uniform is guilty of a simple offense and is liable to imprisonment of 3 months or to pay a fine of 40 naira. 10 naira, 40 naira. So if he was wearing a camouflage, he would have gone to prison for 1 month or paid 10 naira, or 3 months and pay 40 naira. But he paid with his life instead, if he was wearing a camouflage, that is. Good morning.
Good morning, Remos.
Good morning to you.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. I want to talk about the incident that happened in Ogun State.
Okay, what's your name?
This is Temidaya calling from Surulere.
Welcome to the show, Temidaya.
Yeah. Wemimo, the PRO is a big liar and the man is too arrogant. Nigerian police will never tell you the truth about what is going on. The governor said there's a casualty that happened in the state, and the PRO said he's not aware of anything. We are in a big mess in this country called Nigeria. We are in a big mess when the police officer would deny this and deny that and deny this. It is a big mess on our police officer. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for calling. Good morning.
Hello, Wemi. Good morning.
Hello, morning to you.
Yeah, this is Asuko calling.
Can you put off your radio quickly, please?
Yeah, sure. I'm doing that.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. It's really sad, and it's, really sad to have people that should be protecting you now turning to attack, and even to the extent of killing. The innocent life that is lost right now had played a major role in the life of people like the...
Sorry, your call dropped. Judge is in Ikeja. Good morning, Judge.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm trying to react to the comment by the PRO.
Go ahead.
It is rather unfortunate that somebody lost a relation or a loved one, and he's sounding like he owes this country. It's about time we started having a more responsible and well-trained police officers. I think that man doesn't deserve that post. He is trying to play intelligence with, trying to be professional about his work. But we are talking about a casualty confirmed by a governor. I don't think he's more superior than the governor. He needs to be more professional. The police is messing this country up. Thank you.
Thank you. In case you missed out on it, let me play to you again the voice of the governor of Ogun State, Dakwa Abiodun, acknowledging that there were fatalities during the protests ensuing after the death of Tiamiyu.
A while after the peace meeting, some youth defied the calls for restraint and decided to take advantage of the situation by embarking on activities that further aggravated the already tense situation. They attempted to attack Divisional Police Station in Shagamu. They attempted to burn the police armor personnel carrier and even to loot the banks and the local government headquarters. Regrettably and unfortunately, we understand that there were some fatalities. In the meantime, I'd issued a public statement condemning the incident and calling on the youth to be calm and not take laws into their own hands.
What more can I say? Let me play you another insert.
Some youth defy the calls for restraint and decide to take advantage of the situation by embarking on activities that further aggravated the already tense situation. They attempted to attack Divisional Police Station in Shagamu. They attempted to burn the police armor personnel carrier and even to loot the banks and the local government headquarters. Regrettably and unfortunately, we understand that there were some fatalities. As we speak, we have confirmed from the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital that they have 3 fatalities. That is the confirmation that we have. This is being thoroughly investigated as well. Security has since been beefed up, including the involvement of the Nigerian Army and other law enforcement agencies.
Okay, guys, what more can I say? The governor said they had found from the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital that there were 3 confirmed cases, 3 fatalities. The police PRO tells me on the Morning Crossfire that he's not aware that there were any fatalities during that protest. He says, if you know that there is a fatality, come and tell him. Good morning. Okay, good morning.
Good morning, Wemimo.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
My name is John. I'm calling from Ibuefo.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, seriously, that is why we are saying that this, our Nigerian police, seriously, even if you are on your right, they will say it's left. So for that man saying that matter, as now everybody has heard this thing, the governor said it in a different way. The first one and the second track. It still confirmed that 3 has died. Then why is he denying that there's nobody has died? So seriously, these police people in this country, they are messing this country. There's no justice in this nation at all. We are not going forward. We are going backward. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. Let's see who's here. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Please try again. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Madam.
Good morning.
Okay. Yes, please, Emmanuel is calling from Oshodi.
Welcome, Emmanuel.
All right, thank you. Please, the police PRO seems not to know exactly what happened in the incident that we are talking about.
After the governor addressed the matter publicly?
No, I mean the real actual incident that happened that led to the death of the deceased. So my question is that the deceased, was autopsy conducted on him? Is it true that he died of road traffic accident or a gunshot? If autopsy has been conducted, it will show the cause of death.
That's right.
So I want to know if autopsy has been conducted on him before burial. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get the police PRO back online. We're working really hard to get him back on, but I don't know what's going on. But we'll keep trying. I have just about 2 more minutes, but if I can get him on in that time, he'll be back on here with you. Whether I have to call him with my phone, whichever one. I need him to answer at least 2 more questions for me before we go. Let's see who's here. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Yeah, this is Adewuni.
My name is Wemimo. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, actually, it's a very big situation in this country. We also have a police that we can be denying a situation like this, and it's very, very wrong. Actually, I have a police officer in my family, and the DSP officer is a woman, and I know the way she behaves. She gets all the ranks from, go to, maybe she went for a lecture and all these things. But, what I'm trying to say is that we are talking about camouflage and all those things. There is a lot of clothes that they are selling nowadays that look like clothes that people used to wear, ladies and guys used to wear up and down, which is, maybe that's what that person wear. And they said, I've seen a situation whereby I was stopped by a police checking point. Police was telling me that, he told me that I get a lock. If it is the time that he's doing an illegal walk, it's not very funny going on me and fire.
Well.
But I told him, I said, you go and kill your family at home immediately. when you get a Sauke area at Ocean State. Say you go and kill your family. And another one happened at Ishagam when you want to turn to Ishagam from Ibadan Expressway. I was stopping them and my friends and their police was telling me that, who am I? Who are you? All the mouth was smelling with alcohol. He was telling me that, did I want to call on police? Am I a police officer? Am I doing that, this and that? Before the inspector now came around, what was the problem? I said, this one said he want to shoot me.
I'm sorry, I need to go now. I'm really out of time. Twitter is on fire based on comments of the police PRO in Ogun State. Okay, I'll let you guys have your day talking about it. I'll cut this video and put it up shortly. You can see it on Nigeria Info FM's Twitter handle and our social media pages. I'm as shocked as you are. I'll leave you again with the audio of the Ogun State governor himself, Dr. Abiodun, confirming in a public address that there were fatalities that the government had confirmed from the hospital. 3 fatalities. The Ogun PRO, the police PRO in Ogun State tells me that he's not aware of any such fatality. I'm leaving you now, Nigeria. That's the Morning Crossfire show for today. We're back tomorrow with more conversations. The show starts at 6 a.m. I'm on social media at Wemimo Sport. Keep listening to Nigeria Info. Have a good day.